What's going on, traders? It's Davey Trades. I'm back with another daily PA recap. And what's the lesson going to be today? Well, I guess the lesson today, as we go through some of the trades that I took, is that even when market conditions are right, sometimes it's not going to work out the way you want it to work out, which isn't something you probably want to hear, and it's not something I want to experience. But if you remember yesterday's video, I actually mentioned that sometimes market conditions are working in your favor, but you're just a little bit off with your entries, and unfortunately, that's what happened to me today. But that's okay because risk management is king, and risk management is what keeps you in the game. And we're disciplined traders, and we wait for the right markets to trade, and we look for setups, and we hope for the best, right? So I took a nice short yesterday, actually, during Asia session, which played out beautifully to the downside here. It was a 2.5R short. So that was really, really nice. Again, we see here our push down, right, which is our V. Boom. We have our sideways price action, and we actually have little sauce here, a fractal within our overall VCC. We have a VCC, right? So this is kind of what I started looking for. So that was a beautiful trade. So I was able to carry that from Asia session into New York session with one of my prop firm accounts. Now we're going to fast forward because we did not touch any price action after that beautiful win. Let's go over to the New York Open. But we're going to look at that 1 hour chart just as per usual. See where we're at, right? If we take a look, again, I know all these videos are very competitive, not competitive. What's the word? Repetitive. Jesus, Lord Almighty. So we're in the stage one price accumulation, sideways price action. We are looking for some type of move out of this range, either to the bottom side here, which actually kind of looks like that's what price wants to do. And then give us some type of retracement back to the top side, break those all-time highs, or we want price to start to accumulate here, give us more of a move to the upside. Either way, my overall long-term prediction on this market is bullishness. If we take a look at our daily chart, it's bullish, and where we want to come is right here. We want to take out these highs. I don't care how we take out these highs or when we take out these highs, we will take out these highs, and we will be following this thing along. Okay. So let's go back down to our 15-second, and let's look for the New York Open. Where are you, bitch? Here it is. So I actually took a little short, a little fucking naughty boy. Don't tell anybody. I took a short pre-market, right? So I entered in about 12 minutes before the market opened up. But I reduced my risk on this one. I shouldn't say I reduced my risk. I reduced my, I reduced my stop loss on this one, which actually increased my contract size so that I could fit in. Sometimes when you're in time frames or in sessions, I should say, sessions with low volatility, like London session and Asia session, you can up your contract size and manipulate your stop loss to have proper risk management, because you do not need your typical New York session size stop loss in London session and Asia session, right? A lot of times it ends up being too big. But here is our our New York Open. We have a nice little reject. We start moving to the top side. We get a huge V here. right, into our C here, boom, and I am trying to get involved, right? So I, with how choppy this is, right? It's choppy. So in this type of environment, if you do think that price is going to move to the top side, what you should try and do is you should try and catch moves a little bit lower, or alternatively, you should be operating with a bigger stop loss. Like if I had a 80 tick stop loss here, we would have been, yeah, no problem. No problem. We would have been a-okay. But instead, what we ended up getting was a beautiful -1 to start the day, even though we have our proper trending environment, or at least setting up for our trending environment. Now, I let that one play out. So we have our, let's go over this. We have a big push up. This is our V. This is our C. This is our C. This is also our V, right, into our C. And now we're looking for our C. I got into this and I was fucking not following my BE plan, which I should have been, where I usually what I would do is I would wait for some type of structure break, right, which we see right here, and a closure above this here. That would be automatic BE for me. I didn't do that. I was early. I saw this volume come in. I went to BE. It came down. It took me out. And then it went straight to my TP. Right? And then I think overzealously, I decided that, oh, this looks good. You know, like when there's a lot of market volume, or there's a lot of volume in the market, you can see this play out and you can get caught in here. It did not play out for me. It went straight to my -1, which did not allow me to take any more trades because I had already had top step was done because I traded that yesterday during Asia session. My take profit trader was done because I had a winning trade pre-market, right? So I was already done there. And then I moved on to my Apex accounts. And I took a -1, a break even, and a -1. So I was done for the day, which is so disappointing because, well, we had some beautiful price action, right? We went into a longer term stage 1 accumulation, or a C, right? Because market's fractal. Technically, this is our V, our C, and our C, right? But we're also looking for V, C, C, V, C, C, right? Within a larger VCC, right? It's crazy how the market works. It's just a repetitive, it's just the same thing happening over and over again across all time frames all at the same time. It's really interesting. And when the market conditions are right, what we're looking at is this is just the same thing playing out that you see here on a higher time frame. So that's why it moves sideways for a longer time, right? And we see some nice opportunities to the top side, but unfortunately I cannot break my risk management rules because without risk management, what do we have? We don't have anything. We have an unprofitable trader. We have a rule breaker. We have a naughty boy, and that is not what we want to be. We are not naughty boys. We follow our rules so that we can be profitable traders, right? This would have been a great opportunity here, right? Maybe a buy stop through the top side. I prefer something more here. I probably would have liked this move. So that would have been nice to catch, right? I think my stop loss is just a little bit too tight today. 40 ticks was not right. So I usually go between 40 and 80 ticks. And then we see this huge sell-off. If any of you guys were watching the market, like this was just like, this is so fucking good. And I am over leveraged at this point, so I can't get involved. But that's okay because this is going to set the precedent for the rest of the week, I think. And actually, this move may even continue into Asia session tonight. So maybe I'll look for something later. I don't know. We'll see how nice it is. But this is just, we have our indicator glowing, right? We have a nice solid line. What did we do? Well, we came in, and if we go to our high time frame, let's go to the 4 hour. We went into this little resistance area here, right? It tapped in beautifully. I don't look for support and resistance. In fact, what I was hoping for was that this would happen, but we don't try and just catch that at the top of the range. That makes no sense. We try and wait for it to break through the top of the range, and then we can get involved somewhere in there for it to go higher, right? We need that extra confirmation when we're dealing with trades at the top of, these longer, higher time frame ranges. Okay, we know that we've been trapped in this sideways price action for a while, so it's very important that, here's our price action here. It's very important that we pay attention to what the market's been doing. That way we can try and understand what the market is going to do, unless it shows us something different. So we go back to our entry time frame. Where am I? Here? Yep. Here we go. And we had this big sell-off, which was just like picture perfect here, right? You could set up a sell stop. I don't know, even at the bottom of this, you could just easily put a sell stop here, or just got involved somewhere on this sideways price action. We have our V here. We have our C. We have our C, right? We have our V. We have our C. We have our C. And then we have just miniature ones. Like you could have been involved here, 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 here. Oops. You could have easily been involved here, right? Even though we're a little bit overextended at this point. Obviously, it doesn't move too much further. But what I think is going to keep happening here is, if we keep looking, when we have a big, I just want to get rid of all this stuff. When we have a big sell-off like this, right? If we were to look at our higher time frame, this is one of the biggest, most aggressive moves that we've seen in a while, right? Look at this hourly candle. There isn't an hourly candle in the past couple weeks that is as large as this one. So this was the most aggressive move that we've seen in a while. And that, my friends, is the beginning of something positive, whether it's more moves to the downside come New York session tomorrow, or it's a total reset and we are going to accumulate and go back up to the top side. But I will be watching Asia session today, and I'll be seeing if there's a way that I could potentially get involved if we see a nice, clear, trendy market to the downside. Otherwise, I am not interested in it moving bullish quite yet. The momentum is clearly to the downside right now, even though it is at the bottom of the range. I want to see what happens. To me, it looks like it'll probably break through the bottom of that range. Actually, did it break through? Yeah, it already did. Yeah, we broke through the bottom of the range already. Doesn't mean that it can't retrace back up. Maybe it will come back down, something like this. And I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? This is why we don't try and predict the market. I don't try and look for zones. Like, I'm not looking at this like, oh yeah, look, oh, hold on, wait. We have a 1 hour fair value gap here, and oh yeah, it's gonna come into here and bounce up and blah blah blah. It's all nonsense. It doesn't matter. Value gaps are not a thing, right? It's just momentum coming into the market. This is a fair value gap, and all it is it's just a lot of price action. But watch, we got a 5 minute, right? Look, it's not actually a fair value gap. There's many candles here, and there's many fair value gaps, and the market's fractal, so fair value gaps actually doesn't really make a lot of sense if you really think about it. It's just volume coming into the market that causes like a larger candle, right? And it really just depends on what time frame you're looking at, like when people start saying, "Oh, it's a 5 minute fair value gap," it's like fucking doesn't make any sense, bro. It makes no fucking sense, bro. So we don't look at shit like that because it doesn't fucking matter. It's unnecessary and we don't need it. All we need to do is we need to focus on what price is telling us, when price is telling us. We need to focus on what the trend is showing, and we need to be able to figure out a way to get involved when it's necessary. But anyways, guys, that is the lesson of the day. That is price action for May 21st, 2025. The lesson is, even when the market conditions are right, you still have to get those entries correct, and you have to follow your plan to a T, and you have to be okay, right, with the results. Unfortunately, I probably went BE a little bit too early. I could have had a +1 RR day on that account, and then a +2 and a +2.5 on my other accounts. It would have been a good day. It was a good day. It was a good day. I followed my rules, and that's a good day, right? There's never a bad day in trading, right? There's losing days, there's winning days, but there's never a bad day because we follow our rules. And at the end of the day, you should say either A, I won, or B, I followed my rules. And that's what matters, and that's what counts. It is not about the money. It's about the process. It's about having a strategy that's profitable and just following that strategy to a T and disconnecting from the actual results because they will come when the market's ready to give it to you. Anyways, guys, take care. I'll see you tomorrow on the next one.